Hi folks, and welcome to Schick Happens. In today's episode, I think I'm going to try to put together a catch and cook of some largemouth and maybe some bluegill. I have a couple bodies of water out back that has a really good population of fish in it. And every year I try to take out a certain amount of fish to keep everything healthy and in balance. I know there's a lot of people out there that just think keeping largemouth bass to eat is taboo, and I don't get it. Most public lakes have slot limits for a reason. They are, I think, a very tasty fish. They make great table fare, and I have no problem keeping largemouth bass to eat on occasion. So that's what we're going to do today. Now the only thing I'm going to take back with me, I'm just going to load this stuff up on the four-wheeler, is a bucket, keep the fish in. I'm going to take two ultralights, one for casting for bass, and another one that I just have a bobber and a hook on. Just going to use some night crawlers, and hopefully there's a few bluegill on the side that are hungry. A couple tackle boxes, my bug spray, and I think we should be good. Although it does seem like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Now I would also like to point out, kind of the reason I'm doing this video is I have a couple YouTube friends that have their own channel. And we've kind of all three been ribbing each other about doing a catch and cook. Now I'm not going to call them out by their names, that just wouldn't be right. So for the sake of this video, let's just say that, I don't know, one of them's Randy and the other one's Don. I can't think of any other names, but they really haven't produced a good catch and cook video in a while. So I'm hoping I can step up to the plate and make that happen in this video. I think this should about do it. I got 3 bluegill in the bucket, and I think this is the 5th or 6th bass. Plenty enough for Lori and I to fry up, have a little supper, and leftovers for lunch. So let's head up to the barn, get these filleted, and I'll show you how I fry them up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get these fish cleaned. The bass I kept were anywhere from 12 to 14 inches, and the bluegill were around 8-9 inches. But I'm going to get these filleted. I'm going to get the fillets rinsed in some water, and then I'm going to put some fresh water on them, a little bit of lemon juice, put them in the fridge, and let them chill for about an hour. Then we'll start the cooking. Alright, the fillets have been in the fridge for about an hour. There's probably about 2 pounds of them. And like I mentioned before, I added a little bit of lemon juice. The batter I'm going to use, and this is just going to be a dry batter, is Drake's with a little bit of lemon pepper seasoning. And I cracked 3 eggs with a little bit of milk. I'm going to give the fish a dip in that before I put them in this batter, shake it up, and get them in the deep fryer. Now, this deep fryer here, a couple people have asked me about this before. This pot was my parents'. It was under their Christmas tree as a gift to themselves back in 1963. I love this thing. I use it all the time. The only thing I've had to replace is the handle. The little black handle on it cracked. This thing is great for deep frying. And then with it, I have my grandmother's thermometer. I'm guessing this thing was probably from the 50s. But these two working in tandem, it's my favorite thing to fry fish in. Now normally I like using peanut oil for frying fish. I'm out of peanut oil. But this canola oil will work just fine. So I'm going to get some canola oil in here, get the stove on, probably medium high, get the thermometer there, excuse me, and get this up to about 350, 375 degrees. Alright, while that's heating, I'm going to go ahead and get the fillets in this egg wash and then into this dry batter. And this is a marinade container I've had for years. I never use it for marinade. I always use it for battering fish, because I can easily pop that back on and off, and shake it and give the fish or whatever else a good coating. Alright, the fish has got a nice little coating on it now. I just need to kill a couple minutes until that oil gets up to temperature. Figure out what I'm going to do for the next 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes. Pretty sure I'll think of something. Now, one thing I am going to do, I got a little cookie sheet here with some paper towels on it. This is where I'm going to put the fish, and I preheated the oven to its lowest setting of 170. So when these come out of the deep fryer, they're going to go on here and go in the oven until we're ready to eat. About 325, we're getting close. It's at 350 right now. I think I'm going to let it kick up to 375 because I know when I put this fish in, that oil temperature is going to drop significantly. So let it go a little bit longer. I'll let this first batch go for probably about 4 minutes maybe. These aren't going to take long. And there you have it. This is my catch and cook video on largemouth bass. I'm going to put these in the oven. As I mentioned before, it's preheated down to 170. These aren't going to cook anymore. They're just going to stay warm until the wife and I are ready to eat. But don't be afraid to catch and keep a few largemouth bass, especially if you own property and you have a pond and you're trying to manage it. You can't just leave them go. You got to keep a good balance, and you got to cull some every once in a while. And even if you're in public areas, don't be afraid to keep a few. There's nothing wrong with it, regardless of what all these bass fishermen say. My God, you can't keep bass. That's wrong. No, it's not. Don't be afraid to keep a few and fry some up. But thanks for joining me here today on Schick Happens. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like the content in this video and other videos and you've not already subscribed, please consider doing so. Cheers.